everyone, welcome to my channel. Hope you're all staying safe and well. Do you remember this unboxing? Let's get this open and see what's inside. And there we have it. It is an E-flite or Horizon Hobby in the UK F16 Falcon 64mm EDF. Now it's time to assemble it. So here it is, all laid out in front of you. Got the instruction manual, or the assembly manual, I don't know what they call it, instruction manual they call it. We've got the fuselage, already painted, decorated. Now the fuselage, actually it's got a nose cone. Now that nose cone is magnetic, but it's got a long pointy bit on the end, and I don't think that'll last very long, not with me. Servos, everything already installed. It's 64mm EDF. It is of course an F16 Falcon, and the colour scheme is some sort of anniversary. There you are, 35th anniversary of something or other, and this is the Lone Star Gunfighters 149 FW. Receiver, it's got a built-in receiver, so it comes with safe and AS3X in there. The receiver is an AR636B, so it goes back a while. It's perfectly usable, it's brand new, it should be okay. It's got a stupid EC3 connector on it, so I've got to convert it to a XT60. Got the cockpit area, just clips in. Plenty of room in this one, there's no messing around trying to get your battery in, it just sits there in the front. They say a 2200 4S. We'll see where the CMG comes out with that. Got your wing spar, very small wing spar. Got your left right wing. Your left right wing tips. Everything's glue on except the main wings. The main wings you can screw on. Fuel tanks left and right, but under the wings. Whether I use them or not, I don't know. We've got these rocket things or missiles, Mavericks or whatever they are. Got two of those, one for each side. They're very light foam, but I might not bother because I might want to put a camera mount where they would glue. Now we have an undercarriage. Whether I use it or not, I doubt it, because this comes in the similar sort of range as the F15 Eagle, and that hand launches pretty well. I think I'll use the same tricks I learnt with that and have this hand launch. You then got these, I don't know what they are, they're rakes. They are on the underside of the fuselage, one to the left, one to the right, help stabilise the aircraft in flight. But the tail surfaces, the fin, there's no rudder, so I'll just call it a fin. It is a bank and yank. And the wingtips, the tanks, the rockets, whatever missiles, call them whatever you will, they're all glue on. And that's it. So it shouldn't take us too long to whack this thing together. And then I'll have to play around with how do you grip it underneath. Is it an easy grip? Is it a hard grip? The first thing is to RTFM. If you don't know what that means, I suggest you go and look it up, because there's no way I'm saying it on YouTube. Centre of gravity amendment sheet, 75 to 85 from the leading edge at the root. So we're going to have it at 80. The first thing is to stick the little fins on at the bottom of the fuselage, put the tail plane on, wheels I'm not bothering with, and then we flip it over and do the rudder. Let's clear all this out of the way, get it set up, ready to start the job. This goes back a bit, this one does. It's quite interesting. I mean, look at that cheat hole. I mean, it's just a whack and great hole. There's no grid over it or anything. So look at all the muck you're going to suck up in that. Yeah, we're just going to super glue these, I can't remember what they're called, these things in here. When I say super glue, of course, I mean we're going to use a super glue foam tack. See what I did there? Oh dear. Slope to the front. really enough. Let's put a bit more in there. There we go. Put that in there. Good, that's running. You can use your hands, fingers, or cocktail sticks, cotton buds, just to hold that. Let's do the other side. So, just put a bit more in there. So it keeps clicking. Oh, that's my watch. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's almost not going to come out again. Alright, they're pretty good. Just leave those like that, let them dry. I'm just going to glue there. But before I glue it, that goes there, this one goes here. I've noticed all of these holes are exactly the same size on the horn. That normally means that you're going to have to make one bigger. I'm going to check that first. I'm going to give this side a go. I've checked the holes, and on the actual elevator horns the clevis fits perfectly, but the Z bend wouldn't go into these. Now it says to use the top, so I've slightly reamed out the top, made sure the Z bend works in it, and it does. So I'm now happy to apply glue and foam tack that in. It's nice and stringy. This is how foam tack should work. We're going to leave it, not long, just 30 seconds to a minute, maybe a minute's too long. These are compressed hinges, compressed foam hinges, so make sure you've done a good old waggle on them. So this shouldn't be too bad. There we go. One last fit and that should be it. Little clean up aisle 5. Let's flip it over to make sure it's not looking disastrous on this side. Give it a little run down there. Looks pretty good, but I want it to dry this way up. I'll put a bit more on here. Spread it around, doesn't hurt. Make sure it's covered all the white area. You don't want to put it on the side here because this side is actually exposed. Well, this bit isn't, but further up here it is. I won't be putting anything on the inside of the wings. Flip that over now so you'll lose sight of it. Right, basically gonna just let those dry. Keyed together very nicely. I won't attach the push rods yet, we'll do that once it's all dry. They're nice and secure now. I'm going to put these on the horns when I'm not attaching them. Because it's got a receiver connected, I can't tell if these are centered or not. Just put them on like that for now. and we'll see what happens when we do go to power it all up. Now I'm not putting wheels on, as I said, so we've got to flip it back over now. And what I want to do now is put the wings on. We do need that spar. What I always like to do with the spar is see how far in the wing it goes. Okay, then push it through the fuselage. And see how much comes out the other side. And that's not much there, you see. Ah, dear. It goes that far down the wing, and what we're getting is that much left for the main wing. What have I got here? That is just short of 9, and this is 8. So I want to move it a bit more. That's about 8.5, just over 8.5, and that's just over 8. So that's about 50-50. This is the leading edge at the wing root. We put that on it, and we come up to 80, which is in between. So we want to come from there. Doesn't really matter how I do it. I can do it from 80 from here, 8 from there, and it's basically to there. That's nice. But I like coming out, so because this is flat, I can position that flat against there. Put a second pin in. Say, because I'm not going to put anything underneath, so we can move it out a little bit. It's quite a way forward, that is. Let's put it there. Let's put that upright. Okay, that's my centre of gravity. That's where it's got to be. Should be. They look pretty good to me. And if we use that groove. Excellent. It absolutely amazes me that I haven't been able to find a single video where anyone talks about the centre of gravity for this aircraft. I just find it staggering because it is one of the most important things to get right. Okay, so I am erring on the side of caution. I'm assuming that the E-flite addendum is correct. What I did do is I downloaded an FMS 64mm F16 manual because they are the same aircraft. This is made by FMS. I've done that, I've taken a look at that one, and that one says between 75 and 80. So this one on here says between 75 and 85. So because I'm going for the 80, I'm the rearmost according to FMS, but according to this I'm in the centre, so I'm going to be pretty safe. The other thing I've decided to do is, as I will not be using any of the nose gear, so this servo, this arm, this rod going down here through the plastic plate, this piece stuck in the throat in the air duct, I won't be using any of that. I'm going to strip all that out before I do anything. This is a bind wire, by the way, so you can bind this without having to get in the back of this. Yeah, so I'm going to work on that, taking all that stuff out, then we'll attach the wings.
15 minutes later.
Okay, that's done. So as you can see here, I've got no servo at the front here, and there's no metal bit dangling down in the airway, and that's all here. It's all in my hand now, and it's a fair bit of weight. A couple of grams there that we don't need. I'll try and get this spar halfway, and then I'll put a dab of glue on it just to hold it in place as I attach the wings. So this is too much. That's 8.5, and this is 8.5. There you are, 8.5 either side. 8.5 centimeters, which is 85 millimeters. Yeah, and I can, if I turn this up this way, you might not see it, but there's a little recess there, and I can put a dab of glue on that recess. It's not to glue it in place, it's just to help stop it slide when I put the wings on. Obviously one wing will go on no trouble at all. So I want to bring that back a bit, put a bit of glue on it, and then push it back. That's all it needs. I just want to hold it in place. 8.5. That's 8.5. I'm going to let that dry so it's equidistant. It will just give it some resilience and some friction, if you like, when I push the wing on to stop it sliding all the way. Let's get this on. Still hold at this end as you push it in. Get that there. Push that in like that. Important reason not to glue your wingtips on yet, because you really have to push that in to get the screws in. Let's do it. I don't know if I want to go front end, so let's do front end first. That went in easier. Good. Those two are done. Flip it around. I mean, I don't know why I'm being delicate with this. This has already been broken off. Now we repeat that process. Because the likelihood is you're not going to see it have anything at all. But what I do is I go into there and just, you'll watch it, but you just ream it. Not too much. Take out that first bit. And you can push it through. Don't think you get any of this eye. If you don't make the hole too big, you can still push it through. Twist it and it's nice and tight. So we just want to stick some glue on here. So we know it goes in there and over this bit, and in fact over this whole edge. There we are. Just get that spread around everywhere. And that goes in like that. Let's spread that out. You can see where it goes there now. It's got plenty on it. It's good. Let's look at the other side. Okay, just want the glue spread across it. That's it. Yep, excellent. That's it, we'll let that dry. But while it's drying, we'll do the other one. bit I've spread, you can just clear that up with your hands once it's dry. So we're going to leave that to dry. This is coming along very nicely. That's all dry. What we've got to do now is the rudder, the fin, there's no rudder, and we will just squidge glue into there. I've come to the conclusion, it might be old age, that all that cutting and scoring, it's not necessary with foam tack. If I was using an epoxy I might, so it gets a good grip, but foam tack actually melts the foam. It actually bonds with it. So I don't know why, I don't know, when I was doing all the stuff I was doing, all you really got to do is get everywhere covered. There we are. Lovely. Shove it in. Just like that. We're going to take it out again. Just like that. Can you see all those strands? That's wonderful. And put it back in again. And leave it in. Take that off there. Whip it around. This off here. There we go. Now I've made the decision, I am not putting any of this stuff on it. So these are not going on it. Obviously the wheels aren't. These I'm in two minds about, but I don't think I will put them on at this stage. I'll see how it performs. While that's all drying, keep an eye on it, make sure it's upright. Stick this back on. And we'll give it a doze. I really don't like this bit. That is asking for trouble with me. Talk about a lawn dart. It does look good though. But I might just lose it. Might cut it off here. Just keep it a little cone. It doesn't need that. Basically, that's it assembled. Nasty pointy bit is gone. That's better. Okay, this is all bound together now. So I'm going to connect everything up. I'm going to get on and set all these surfaces up. Right, that's all set up now. Everything's connected. Let's see what happens when we power it up.
High rates, mid rates, AS3X mode.
So we've got right, left, up, down, no rudder.
Throttle on. Timer stop.
Good throttle.
Timer reset.
Got a problem with my timer, I'll have to reset that. Yeah, it all looks good. We should have safe. Yeah. We can switch that off. Just AS3X. Back to safe. Yeah, great. The other thing I've done on this is, by watching the videos, you seem to need to have 5mm up elevator on this for it to fly level. So I've measured that and I've added it on both of these. You can see there they're not quite level, they're actually both up a little bit. No undercarriage, as I've said, then it's not going on. Landing gear's all gone. I've added these grips because this is a real nice place to hold it for balance. And then you don't squeeze too hard here, by the way, because they're whacking great holes, and don't get your fingers stuck in those holes. Bit of tape underneath just to protect it on those belly landings. I don't know how well the ventral fins will last. I think they should be okay. They might get a bit bashed about. So that's all ready for the field. So thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay well. I look forward to you coming and joining me on another video soon. Cheers.